Food Technology. So, can anyone tell me why this? Instead of I have some this one. You could have made it agriculture and food technology could be a complete sentence. So I will cover agriculture and food technology in a broader sense. Okay. So anyone in the participant know that why this is important for us? Let's make it interactive. Hello. So this, why this food and agriculture is important. This sector, agriculture sector in this food and agriculture sector contributes around 18.2% to the country's GDP. This is a huge contribution after service sector. Earlier, this was a 27%, and now it is decreased because of many other reasons we'll be discussing in the forthcoming slides. So agriculture, 70% of people living in the rural places, around it is generating around 42.3% of the population livelihood programs. So global food production that holds immense significance as it sustains human life and impacts economic health and environment worldwide. You all know that. This is a basic industry which is fulfilling the need of the public. This not only ensures food security but also influences international trade. Most of the international trade happens with agriculture, and on the social front, this influences livelihood, food security, and economic development. You all know that. This sustainable agriculture practices are essential mainly to mitigate, to overcome negative environmental effects. For example, like nowadays, carbon, cutting down carbon emissions and other things. These are all possible with following these sustainable agriculture practices that not only improves the social equity and well-being and also have the direct impact on the environment. This access to quality and nutritious food is fundamental to human existence, that is provided by this food and agriculture sector by providing healthy life to the public. This food and agriculture, the most fundamental element to the human existence and heart of this transformation. Now coming to this role of food and agriculture in achieving SDGs, Sustainable Development Goals. Earlier days, there is a small difference between Millennium Development Goals and Sustainable Development Goals. And these Sustainable Development Goals to sustain the industry, these Sustainable Development Goals mainly we need to, because food security challenges, environmental concerns, and complex socio-economic issues. To address all these things, we need to focus on the Sustainable Development Goals. More efforts and innovations are required, and the government is putting a lot of efforts in this aspect to increase the sustainability in agriculture production and ensure everyone has access to nutritious food. That's the fundamental aspects, ultimately well-being of human being. The Sustainable Development Goals, these are a set of 17 goals that has been defined and established by United Nations, addressing various challenges like poverty, inequality, gender inequality, climate change, and environmental degradation. So to address these things, major challenges, the United Nations has come out with these SDGs. These SDGs development goals, they serve as a universal call for action and to promote mainly economic growth, social development, environmental sustainability, and guiding international efforts to increase These sustainable agriculture practices are crucial for environmental preservation, biodiversity, climate change, as we were discussing.
Sir, sorry to interrupt, sir, you're not audible. Yeah, what is this? Hello? 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 Sir, sorry to interrupt, sir, your voice is not audible, sir.
Now,
Yes, yes, now it's audible, sir. Sir, please carry on.
okay.
Yes.
So they have United Nations. They have considered five principles to achieve this sustainable goals with respect to food and agriculture. One is enhancing food chain productivity. This is nothing but efficient supply chain. So from seed to sell, understand, from starting from sowing till it reaches to the plate, it should be made available. Demand and supply, when it is required, where it is required, in what condition it is required, all these things should be decided. Second is conserve environmental resources, that is natural resources, without hampering any natural resources. We have to achieve these things. And third principle in developing these SDGs is promote well-being and economic growth. This is very much important. Health is very much important concern. So that has to be considered in developing achieving all these goals, and strengthening ecosystem and communities that is align with the governmental initiatives. This is their these are the 17 sustainable development goals they have defined by United Nations. uh, in that we have, with respect to social, there are six social aspect, there are six SDGs. With respect to environmental, there are four, and with respect to economic development, there are again five, and with fostering peace and partnership, that is with the public and private partnerships, public and in non-governmental organization, two goals they have. In that we'll focus on hello.
Yes, sir.
Hello.
Sir, you can just move your next slide, sir.
Okay. So let's understand how this SDC alleviate poverty. Earlier days, this poverty is defined by anyone who is earning 32 per day. That is considered a below poverty line in rural areas and 47 per day in urban areas. This was defined by Tandolkar committee. This segment is called as a poverty below poverty line. Understand? So at present, recent survey happened during 2022. The statistics says that this poverty rate in India has declined from 37% to 16% in 2022. 2004 it was 37% and reduced to 16% in 2022. So this is one of the achievement of SDGs, we can say that. And India lifted around 415 million people out of poverty between 2005 to 2021. This was reported by UNDP. So for the to achieve these statistics, these numbers, government has certain initiatives. You all know that MNREGA, that is Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Schemes, that has provided 100 days. This has been increased to 300 days now, and that's provided 100 days guarantee wage employment per year to rural households, and this has benefited over 135 million people in 2023. And Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana, this has largest
So sorry to
financial inclusion program. This has opened our yes.
so sorry to interrupt. Sir, your slides are not
This
moving.
has helped to open around 500 million bank accounts, ensuring access to financial services. Because of this, many of the farmers have been connected to the banks, and they are availing direct benefit from the governments. This is also these programs also helped in elevating people from the poverty. This National Food Security Act,
So your slides
this
are not. Sir, slides, please.
is not visible
Sir, slides are not moving, sir.
now. Might be network problem.
Sir,
Hello.
slides should go to the next one. Next slide.
No,
Uh,
I'm going. Is
we are
it?
we are on the slide which says 5 principles of sustainable agriculture.
No, I am moving. I am moving. I'm in. I'm with.
Yes, sir. Now it is moving, sir. Now it has gone to the next one.
1 minute. Huh?
Yeah.
No, I'm full screen. I'm going. Is it visible now?
So slides are visible. Now it is at the 10th slide. Now you have just moved.
I think slow. Maybe slow it is.
Okay. Okay. So should I operate from here?
Hello. Yes, yes. You can. You can operate. You can operate.
Okay. Okay.
Uh, these, what are the challenges to eradicate poverty? Uh, One is population size. You all know that. Hello, hello, hello.
Yes, sir. So you are audible, sir. You are audible, sir.
Okay, okay. So because the challenges government are facing to achieve this, SDG. One is population size. You know, we we know that very large population size and diverse demographic features. This is adding very complexity to address all these issues. And that rural and urban divide. This is, you will find higher poverty in rural areas than in urban areas. Like, 21% of rural people below poverty line in rural areas, whereas 5% of people lies below the poverty line in urban areas. And next is, this is very huge division. Will find this very difficult to address these issues, and government has to come out with. And next is regional inequality. States like Bihar, Uttar Pradesh, Jharkhand, they lag behind in poverty reduction. They, whatever the government, they came up with the schemes, policies, all these things. These governments have found unable to implement these policies, and ultimately the poverty, they are lagging behind in poverty reduction. Unemployment, this is also a major factor contributing to the poverty in India. Despite many schemes introduced by the central and state schemes, rural and youth unemployment remains significant issue. This has to be addressable, and government has come out with many programs to address these issues. And we all know that the impact of COVID-19 has pushed millions of people back to the poverty, especially informal sectors. Next slide. Some of the tech, is it excuse me, is it next slide? Technology as a tool can be utilized to overcome this poverty. So what government can do here is, government can continue focus on the rural development and urban poverty elevation. They have to introduce more and more programs with the focus on elevating the problems, and they have to include private sectors as a CSR activities in poverty reduction. Civil society should also be taken into consideration to implement these. They have to be made accountable for monitoring and implementing the poverty-related issues. And next, SDC, which is contributing to food technology, zero hunger. The goal of this is to end hunger and malnutrition and promote sustainable agriculture. This was with this motive, this goal has been set. This is an important matter because this hunger affects in developing and developed nations nearly 735 million people still suffer from chronic malnutrition, undernutrition. This malnutrition causes massive losses that affect individual health and quality of life of individuals and societies. This was given by UN United Nations report in 2023. Undernutrition causes nearly 45% of deaths in children under 5. So these are the issues to be addressed with this STC. The current status in India is India ranked 107, 7th rank out of 121 countries in global hunger index. We are lagging. We are far away from the set target. We have to be at least below 100. And 5% of the children, as I said, under 5 years are stunted, 19% are wasted, and 50% of women of reproductive age are anemic. This is very serious issue to be addressed. So government has come out with many other programs to address this issue. The climate change and natural disasters also impact food production. This is indirectly affecting the hunger. So importance to SDC in two is this is India is home for 140 crore people. That is significantly impacting the global progress. So this has to be addressed seriously. There are several schemes they have introduced by government to address this issue. One is public distribution system. So there are this public distribution system provides subsidized grains to 800 million people under National Food Security Act. This is also efficient food supply chain, we can say that. So government is putting lot of effort to reach. Still there are problem exist, but still we can say that many people, like 800 million people, are still they are receiving the grains and surviving out of the hunger. And midday meal schemes like midday meal, you all know that around 120 million school children, they have improved enrollment. They are improving the enrollment, and nutrition means the enrollment is increasing with this number, and nutrition with the nutrition health is also improved. Integrated child development services. This scheme is providing or focusing on reducing malnutrition in children under 6 and also focusing on pregnant women. Pradhan Mantri Kisan Samman Nidhi. This is giving direct support to small and marginal farmers. And Mission Poshan in this, this is targeting malnutrition among children and women through nutrition specific programs. And under this scheme, government very interesting here. Government have portion scheme. Their biofortification of foods means they are adding nutrition to the foods like Tata salt, adding essential vitamins and minerals to staple foods. This is like fortified rice. In the fortified rice, you know that this is a rice introduced recently, which is full of B complex, vitamin B12, iron, folic acid, all these things. Tata salt is introduced with this is full of iron and iodine to address this deficiency. Some developing nutrient-rich crops like golden rice and fortified wheat. This golden rice is rich in vitamin A, and fortified wheat is rich in um, uh, iron, folic acid, B complex, vitamin B12. So, likewise, research is also involved in developing such foods so that people can be relieved and freed from this hunger. This fortified rice distributed under India's midday meal scheme, and even fortified wheat is also distributed under midday meal scheme. And efficient supply chain, a supply chain plays a major and vital role in taking the food from the farm to customer, end shelf. This is leveraging cold storage. Mainly reason, lot of food is wasted in the storage. Central warehouse and state warehouses, lot of food is wasted, and government has came out with, mainly because of shortage of cold storage and lack of sufficient logistic schemes, logistics facilities. This cold storage, lot of government has to invest in cold storage. Even this is possible nowadays. They have come out with subsidized schemes under these schemes to motivate the people to take up the cold storage, take up these issues. And Food Corporation of India, they have been modernized their food storage systems with the silo systems. Will not go deep into these things. What are these things? Let's understand how supply chain has strengthened by the government with the various schemes. We'll understand, so that ultimately the people, the public, our society is receiving the food at right time, at right place, so that they'll be freed from the hunger. High yield and climate resilient crops like GM crops, genetically modified crops, BT cotton, BT brinjal, all these programs, they are directly or indirectly they are involved in increasing the food production and alleviating the hunger. Some of the examples of progress with respect to this is, one is Amul cooperative system. This has boosted rural incomes and nutrition through the dairy industry revolution. In Sikkim, this has been announced as a first organic farming state. This promotes sustainable agriculture, which free from chemical fertilizers and pesticides. This was the first state recently Modi government has announced and rewarded also for this, for making this concept successful. In Tamil Nadu, some of the nutrition initiatives have been undertaken by the Tamil Nadu government. Comprehensive programs they have been taken, which has reduced child stunting and wasting rates. ENAM, Electric National Agriculture Market. This has been, uh, these have been enabled the farmers to directly participate online and sell their products to the direct customers, rather to avoid this has been introduced mainly to eliminate middlemen. In agriculture, huge middlemen are involved, and customer to consumer, producer to consumer is a huge gap. Lot of margin will be taken away by the middleman. So to overcome this middleman, they have come out with national agriculture market online. So now farmers are participating directly online and selling their product to the customer. This is increasing the national farmers income, and many farmers, they have raised their income, and now they are above APL, above poverty line. Some of the technology in fighting these digital ration cards, precision farming, cold storage chains, Aadhaar enabled services. This Aadhaar enabled service, we all know that this has helped the many people, many farmers. One is now they are directly linked to the banks and getting the government services. Agri-tech startups like DHAT, NinjaCart, and many other, they have involved in developing the technology with respect to precision farming and marketing. Some of the challenges to achieve this SDC2 is, one is climate change. We know that droughts, floods, and unseasonal rainfall, all these things. Government is funding the agriculture universities to develop drought-resistant crops, and how to mitigate the floods and unseasonal rainfalls. All these things, government has many schemes they have developed, and still the government has to focus on these areas to streamline. And food distribution inefficiency, as we are discussing, though PDS is operating and supplying, reaching to 800 million people, but still there are some deficiencies are there. They have to be overcome to make it more successful. And regional disparities like Bihar, Uttar Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh, Jharkhand, they have hunger rates due to lack of interest by the local government in implementing the central and state government schemes and alleviate the power hunger. The what way next government can do is, ultimately is, the government has to promote the sustainable agriculture, withstanding the droughts, floods, and unforeseen situation, rainfall situations. This is possible, by crop diversification. We have to reduce the dependency on water intensive crops. If you take Punjab and Haryana, they are promoting millets rather than rice. They are called as a bowl of rice, paddy. And now, because it is water intensive crops, rice is water intensive crops, require huge water. So now they are moving from rice based cropping system to millet based cropping system. So this is also, and they are drought resistant. Millets are drought resistant. They are less water consuming and less fertilizer consuming, and economical crops. Precision farming, like using GPS and IoT sensors to optimize resources like fertilizers, water, and any other resources can be optimized by using IoT. So Tata Consultancy Services is M Krushi. In the name of M Krushi platform, they are working on this area to strengthen farmers, to create the awareness about all these things. Organic farming, you all know that nowadays this is a buzzword. Considering a health aspect, the people are moving towards organic products. So that is, and in that concept, Sikkim is considered to be organic, fully organic state, organic farming state. How to improve food distribution through efficient supply? Because supply chain play a vital role to take the product from the field to the end consumer. We can consume. One is expand public distribution system by using digital tools to make it more efficiency. Nowadays artificial intelligence has come with, playing a vital role in supply chain management, to identify the leakages, to identify the where uh, the wastages, so that they can minimize those things, and can be used. Digital tools can be used in food distributions and reduce the wastages in particularly in storage and distribution. 22 There is a study, 20 to 25% of food is wasted. So that is a reason you might be knowing that Bharat rice and Bharat pulses, the Modi government has introduced to overcome whatever the food is wasted in storage. To avoid that wastage in the storage, they have come out with these products. They have, central government has introduced in the market recently. This cold storage facilities have to be increased, and cold storage and logistic facilities have to be increased and leveraged for efficient distribution to reduce the post harvest losses. Because time is very much important, because in agriculture uh, the bulk production will be there, that the production which is produced in the bulk, that has to be transported to the end customer as early as possible, because it is a perishable in nature. FCI's modernization of food storage and helping in elevating all these things. Establishing solar powered cold storage to reduce post harvest losses. This is Ecogen Solutions in India. They have come out with a solar powered cold storage to reduce post harvest losses. More than 10% post harvest losses from field to storage, and or it reaches till it reaches to the customer. And predicting demand and minimizing overproduction, that can be done. Now Ninja Cart is actually involved in this area to minimize the gap between demand and supply by utilizing AI powered tools. So this is, in India, marginalized communities and farmers is a major segment to be addressed. So they have access to the credit has to be still, the maximum farmers, as I was telling, most of the farmers now they have been connected to the banking sector through financial inclusion scheme, and they are availing insurance and modern farming techniques also through public private partnerships. The focus on women farmers and small scale producers will be discussed. This is very, women farmers play a vital role. Maximum contribution toward in the agriculture sector is from women farmers. So that we'll discuss in the next slides. What is this? So collaborative efforts between the government, NGOs, and private sector to be enhanced, and we have to take the expertise from the private and NGOs and increase the efficiency of all these issues we have discussed. Next is gender equality. So as I was discussing, in developing countries like India, women make up more than half of the agriculture workforce, and their contribution is very heavy and high. Despite a critical role of women in agriculture and rural development, the restrictions. Yes, ma'am. You will find a lot of gender inequality in agriculture sector. This has to be balanced. Hello. By monitoring both indicators of women's ownership of agriculture land and women's equal rights to land ownership, this is an addressable issue, as said by Food and Agriculture Organization that is working heavily on this gender inequality in agriculture sector. It seeks to enable, they are contributing more towards food production. Understand, woman contribution towards food production is very high, very significant, I can say. It seeks to enable and support rural women's production to reduce the number of poor and hungry, as I was saying, thereby increasing economic and social gain. Their contribution towards economic growth and social equality is in reducing social inequality is very high. Women's contribution. Sustainable knowledge group in food and agriculture has to be developed to achieve the sustainable development goals. So, and next is clean water efficient technologies. This, water is a very scarce resource, land and water. You know that land is reducing because of urbanization, and there are many other reasons. Land is reducing, and that water is also reducing because of natural climate change. So how available water can be made use to produce more and more food production? One side the land is reducing, and agriculture production is reducing, and other side the population is growing at geometric proportion. How this has to be balanced? So that's a major issues to be addressed to meet. We need in the next 10 to 15 20 years, the agriculture production has to be doubled to meet the needs of the growing population. This, water and sanitation, around 2.5 billion people worldwide do not have access to adequate sanitation. You means potable water, I can say. These many, 2.5 billion people, they are not accessible to the potable water. So that's the main issues. And, because of these issues, there are many health and even underground water is also polluted nowadays. You know that fluoride levels are increasing, and other associated problems are increasing. Water scarcity and quality affect food security. This is directly related to our food security. Understand? So since water is scarce and depleting very severely, and and quality of this will affect affect the nutrition, population growth, productivity, and environment. Food and agriculture monitors both water use efficiency and water stress that works with the countries to ensure the water and sanitation that are available to all and manage sustainably. This is very much important. So FAO is focusing on these issues. Some of, like, they are suggesting drip irrigation. Government has come out with a lot of schemes, subsidized schemes to supply, to promote drip irrigation, to create the awareness and promote drip irrigation, so that they can bring the water use efficiency in agriculture sector. Netafim, giant drips, they are the pioneers in developing. They are coming with more and more innovative technologies in drip irrigation to increase water use efficiency, so that with the minimum water they can get the maximum output. Wastewater recycling, and PepsiCo India, they are recycling their water for sustainability programs. And hydro, nowadays you all know that hydroponics and aeroponics in Bangalore and metros, hydroponics concepts, even in at household levels, the people are practicing these things, hydroponic practices. This is soilless farming, we can say that. Soilless farming, on water you are growing, and saving lot of cost efficient production in. And next is how we can reduce food wastage. Next goal is reduce the food wastage. One side we are focusing on the production of the food, how to increase the food production with the minimum inputs, like water and other resources. And other side, food wastage, as we were discussing, maximum food wastage, 20 to 25% of food is wasted, so that has to be curtailed. So this is also major thing, so that we have to enhance responsible consumption among the people. As the world's population grows, there is a need to move towards more sustainable approach to the production. So this, whatever you focus on, we have to utilize minimum, with the minimum input. We have to see that inputs like water, energy, and other resources, we have to put a minimum and see that maximum output can be derived. Food and Agriculture Organization (FAO) works to monitor this global food losses and waste, and coordinate activities and initiatives for responsible use and production. This is, they are working very severely. They have suggested some of the things. One is upcycling the waste, transforming food waste into value-added products like minimal animal feed, and even you can see the wood blocks. You might be knowing loop ponds in agriculture sector. This has been in an Indian startup company. They are converting this insect. Loop worm is an insect into a protein from the waste. Whatever the excreta or the waste from the loopworm, they are producing into converting into protein, and other products like, a lot of wastage, agriculture wastage, are converted into blocks, blocks and bricks, so that those can be utilized in hotels and dabas. And many awareness campaigns have to be undertaken, so that to overcome the food wastage. You might be knowing that Swachh Bharat Abhiyan, that is focusing on reducing food waste. Smart packaging, that smart packaging, using biodegradable and edible packaging to minimize the waste. Beki's edible cutlery. Beki is international food industry, international company into food industry. And you might be knowing that innovative package introduced by paper boat for a soft drinks. And recently, DMart, you will find many biodegradable products in the DMart bags. They are prepared out of wastages from maize product. Understand? So like that, there are many innovative technologies they are coming with to increase the packaging and recycle the wastages. Coca-Cola They are pioneer in waste management program and recycling reused packages. They have introduced many bottle recycling units in airports, railway stations. Everywhere you will find the vending machines. Climate change. This is one of the important issue need to be addressed. So you all know that because of climate change, ice is north and south poles. You will finding the melting, and a lot of oceans. There is a rise in the level of oceans and seas, and unseasonal rains, unseasonal onset of all these things are happening beyond the control. The goal is to combat climate change, because climate change is the main issue recently. G20, when it has been happened, so they are focusing on carbon reducing, carbon rating, carbon credits. You might be knowing that. So they are at an international level, they are pressurizing India to purchase some carbon credits, so that they focus on reducing the carbon emissions. Understand? By ultimate is the green coverage they have to improve, so that carbon emission can be reduced. So why this is important? Global temperature has increased 1.1 degree centigrade. If recently I was attending a program, so today it is 1.5. In 2030, by 2070 it will increase by 3 degrees centigrade. This is a huge. If we see that 2 3 degree increase in the temperature, there is a lot of uh, temperature rise, a lot of changes will happen in the nature, and all these earthquakes, unseasonal rainfalls, and droughts, all these unexpected things will may happen, and many will lose many biodiversity. So that's the reason climate change is main issue to be addressed. Okay. uh, as I was saying, by 2100 it is not 2 degrees centigrade, it is 3 degrees centigrade by 2070. 2100 is far away, but by 2070 we are expecting 3 degree rise in the temperature. That has a huge impact on the life of the people and biodiversity. Extreme weather events like cyclones recently, Bengal, this is also unexpected. Floods are happening recently. Assam floods, we cannot forget, that has taken away millions of the income. And recently droughts have been seen in the Rajasthan, Maharashtra. Severe water shortages we have seen. This is all because of the climate change. We are seeing glacier melting in the Himalayan regions, that is retreating rapidly and security, impacting water security. This has directly impact on the agriculture. Erratic monsoons affecting crop yields for over 58% of the population, depending on the farming. So 58-60% of the people depending on the farmers. If monsoon will not happen, will not occur in time, this will affect the production, and this is directly affecting the people, population, or the farmers who are depending on the agriculture. Some of the initiatives that have been taken by the government to address these climate change are: one is National Action Plan on a Climate Change. This focus on the 8 missions, that is including promoting solar energy, tidal energy, wind energy, water conservation, sustainable agriculture in this scheme, and International Solar Alliance. In this scheme, this was launched by India and France to promote solar energy in 121 tropical countries to harness. This is a renewable energy, because fossil energy we will going to extinct, will going to vanish by 2100, so that they are focusing on other alternative sources like solar energy, hydel energy, wind energy, all those things, hydro energy. Faster adoption of electricity mobiles, FAME, in the name of FAME. They are incentivizing electric vehicles. You know that nowadays a lot of vehicles, electric vehicles, battery operated electric vehicles are on the road under this scheme only, FAME. They are promoting to reduce the dependency on fossil fuels like petrol, diesel, and other sources. And now ethanol, they are promoting ethanol also. A National Adaptation Fund for Climate Change, NAFCC. They are providing financial support for climate adaptation projects in vulnerable areas. Energy transition, India aims for 50% of energy capacity from renewable energy. Some of the success stories: Rajasthan, you will find 2,240 watt megawatt power plant in Badla generates. So to overcome, reduce this, as we move towards renewable energy, and the dependency on other fossil fuels will reduce, and the degradation of the natural resources will be reduced, and ultimately the climate carbon emission will be reduced, and ultimately nature will have set for the right rains and other things. Food production will be improved. And Delhi Metro, uh, this is first metro system in the world to receive carbon credits that has been reducing carbon emissions by 6.3 lakh tons annually. This is a major achievement, we can say that. Green metro in the Delhi. Madhya Pradesh's solar irrigation projects, solar powered water pumps in Madhya Pradesh as well. Nowadays, it is throughout India, it has been introduced. So, solar powered water pumps have been introduced. And afforestation in Karnataka, many programs have been come out um, uh, to improve the green coverage, so that this will help in reducing carbon emissions and ultimately uh, taking care of nature. Next is what are the technology and innovation can help in elevating this addressing climate change. One is satellite monitoring the satellite, because of this ISRO has made a tremendous achievement, we can say that, with respect to monitoring the changes in the environment, and they are identifying the deforestation area, glacier melting, and pollution, everything, all the satellites, through the satellites, mm, and taking corrective measures wherever possible. And renewable energy projects like wind farms in Tamil Nadu and Gujarat, uh, they are leading in the energy production. And many startups like Renew Power, Genroof, and many other startups have been came into this sector to address this climate by introducing many gadgets. Waste to energy plants. This Delhi's plants process to generate the electricity. Even in the Bangalore and other areas, they are utilizing the city waste, urban waste, and other agriculture wastes can be utilized to convert these waste into electricity. Paris Agreement. Just I will skip this slide. And what are the challenges to achieve this climate action in India? One is economic growth versus sustainability. The way we are growing, and the this balancing these both the things is a challenging. By reducing the emission, probably might be seeing in Delhi. So a lot of recently, this is unhealthy. AQI, average quality index, air quality index, has been very high, and it is very detrimental to the people, health of the people living in the area. So likewise, yeah, it is a challenging. One side economic growth, other side we have to sustain the environment, so nature. So how this can be balanced is a major challenge, and government has to focus on these areas. Is focusing. And population pressure, high demand for resources, that is affecting the every day. There is a, in the name of development, we are destroying the nature. In the name of development, we are taking away all the resources, so that this is directly affecting the nature and ultimately food production. Finance, financing the climate adaptation. As I was telling, there are government is funding the organizations or institutions who are taking up this, who are involved in this activity. Lack of awareness. Many people need for this lack of awareness. There is a need for community engagement in this action. Next is life on the land. This is ultimately, what are all the things we have discussed. These all directly impacting the livelihood, health and well-being of the people who are living food production. So how we can enhance the health of the people, understand, the ecosystem which is surrounding around us, that can protect the planet and secure the livelihood. However, these ecosystems actually under stress due to urbanization, due to industrialization. All these changes are happening and increasing the pressure on the land, and ultimately there is led to loss of biodiversity and many environmental problems. So because of these things, ecosystem is very imbalanced, and FAO, that is promoting sustainable methods and approaches in natural resource management, NRSM, and monitoring and reporting on a forest area, mountain green cover, and sustainable forest management. If you manage all these things, nature, green cover, so that ecosystem will be under balance, and um, food production, this will have the direct impact on the food production. They're building a fairer society without leaving anyone behind. And that current estimation shows that nearly 690 million people are hungry, and 8.9% of the world population. This contributes to 8.9% of the world population. They are hungry because of uh, because of this food production, lack in the food production. With more than a quarter a billion people potentially at brink starvation, swift action needs to be taken associated with issues like agricultural productivity, land degradation, global supply chains, and our broken food systems also require urgent response and are directly linked to achieve the SDGs. This is very much important. To achieve SDGs, we have to achieve sustainability in agriculture productivity, reduce the land degradation. So the global supply chain has to be enhanced, and food system has to be improved. This can be achieved only through collaborative strategies. It is not the individual, either government alone can do, or private people who are involved in this can achieve these SDGs. Government, public, private, and the citizens all together, they can achieve this sustainability, or sustainability in agriculture sector. Food and agriculture organization, they are continuously working on initiatives and activities to eradicate poverty and hunger, and respond to climate change, conserve natural resources, and achieve food security and sustainable agriculture. So that ecosystem should be maintained. Well, ecosystem should be maintained. That is a balance between sustainability and the growth. We are growing at a, as we are discussing every day, we discuss the GDP, the growth, understand. So this GDP, in the name of GDP, we are destroying the nature, and ultimately the food production has been reduced, though it reduced. But with the only 1 decade remaining to achieve the SDGs, hardly we have left with the 6 or 7 years. This grand ambition requires cutting edge technologies. Very much important. Technology can boost or hasten this process to achieve these things. Resilient food systems, greater cooperation and global partnerships to address the root causes of poverty, hunger, and build a fairer and safer society without leaving anyone behind. So this is directly, SDC 13 is directly all these SDCs what we discussed are they are directly linked to health and well-being of human being. Ultimately, they have to ensure, UNDP should ensure that the people should have a healthy lifestyle and promote well-being for all at, at all stage at all the ages. Why this important? Health and well-being. This important because that this reduces the child mortality and increases the life expectancy in 2021. 5 million children under the age of 5 they have died primarily from preventable causes such as pneumonia, diarrhea, and malnutrition. Malnutrition plays a important contribution to this. Is malnutrition has a higher contribution, and this combats major diseases like we know that uncurable HIV, AIDS, malaria, and COVID-19. Because of these things, 37.7 million people live with HIV worldwide as of 2021. So this is very uh, worrying issue. In 2020, 6,27,000 people died from malaria, with the majority in the sub-Saharan Africa. Even in India also, this is the malaria is a major threat. Though we can say that this is reappeared. We are we are declared free from malaria, and since last decade this malaria has reappeared, and government has come up with many schemes to eradicate this malaria. This improves the access to healthcare and promotes mental health. Understand, this STC, the goal of STC is to improve the access to healthcare facilities and promoting the mental health. Access to healthcare services, at least 400 people lack access to essential health services globally, especially in rural areas of low income countries. So this has to be addressable issues. People should receive the food at a right time at right place, and equally they have a right to receive the healthcare facilities to lead a healthy life. So this is also very endemics epidemics like to Afghanistan and Pakistan. They have reported uh, wild polio virus cases in 2023, and success in reducing malaria cases by 46% since 2000 in countries like Rwanda, Ethiopia, through bed net distribution. This was the scheme they have adopted. Chronic disease challenges like non-communicable diseases like diabetes, heart diseases account for 70% of deaths globally. India saw 25% increase in the diabetes cases in the last decade due to lifestyle changes. Healthcare inequality, sub-Saharan Africa, even in India, has 24% of global disease burden, but only 3% of the world health workers, which is contributing to this one. What are the solutions? Which is and call to action is, one is vaccination campaign has to be increased. Measles. There are many campaigns and awareness programs are undertaken by the government. Mental health advocacy has to be taken care. So in New Zealand, campaigns like minds like mine promote mental health awareness and reduce stigma. Innovative healthcare like telemedicine in India, community healthcare models like Rwandan's healthcare workers reduced maternal mortality by 60% since 2000 by providing doorstep care. Even India is also, we have a lot of campaigns and awareness programs for this. Understand? Affordable clean energy. This is biogas plant, to reduce emission, greenhouse emission. So, and next is just I will swiftly I will pass through food safety and quality. As we were discussing, they are directly connected to the well-being and health of the public. Advanced food testing laboratories have been increased. Probiotic and functional foods, FSSI initiatives. Lot of initiatives have been taken by the FSSI. And digitization in agriculture, ITCs, Chopal, agritech startups, they all these are providing right information to the right customer at right time so that they can take up right activities and right activities so that they can enhance the food production with the minimum inputs. They can predict the all these things where to sell from production to these e-chopal and many other DHAT and other data driven farming solutions are given by agrostar. So they are giving all the necessary information required to the required by the customer, from starting from procuring raw materials, sowing the seeds, and production methods, production technologies, and selling the product at to the right place for the right price. So these things will enhance the production. So I can say that they have at the national central government as a strategies to achieve these sustainable development goals. Just I'll swiftly I'll go through. They have to identify some of the indicators which are contributing to these hunger, poverty, climate change, all these things they have to identify, and they have to consult with the stakeholder. They have to identify and take the confidence of the stakeholders into confidence, and their suggestions have to be considered. uh, 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 this is, next, they have to develop agenda at a national level to achieve these strategic development sustainable development goals. Then once agenda is ready, then meticulous implementation of these schemes are undertaken by partners, stakeholders, the help of stakeholders. Then monitoring and controlling is very much rigorously we have to done, so that if any deviations or distractions in achieving these STCs would be taken corrective measures. So these STCs, because of STCs, lot of whatever the schemes, and we have seen lot of food production, though area under agriculture is reducing, we have enhanced food production is increased, and but the distribution system has to be revamped to reach the right person and to address these poverty, hunger, climate change, all these things. Thank you. If any queries, participant, thank you very much.
Yes, sir, I'm audible, sir?
Hello.
Yeah, am I audible, sir?
Hello. Thank you very much, sir.
Yes, sir, thank you so much. Sir, am I audible?
Hello. Are you audible?
Yes, I am getting.
But no.
Oh, I don't know. We are just facing this issue. But I think the
Is it
participants,
okay? Finish, sir. Thank you. Thank you very much.
so there are some questions
If
in
you
the
have
chat
any
box.
queries, you can chat here.
Is there in the chat box? Is there in the chat box?
Hello. Not audible, sir.
So it's audible for us. Okay. I, I think
Is it okay, sir? If you have any queries, you can just on the chat box. You can just text me so that I can.
I have sent you. I have sent you. I have sent you on a mobile.
Is connected, sir. Is there? No problem. My net is connected.
Okay, I think so. We are just going to face this problem for the rest part, but nevertheless, formally, I would just like to thank Dr. Veerendra Narasalagi for his wonderful sessions on that is SDGs contribution to food technology, having addressed all the issues under the respective SDGs. And I think, sir, your presentation was totally impactful when we say that numbers speak louder than words. And your entire presentation was filled with a lot of numbers. And that is how it has to be addressed. And wonderful insights from your presentation, sir. That is especially when you said like access to essential health and mental health, the two important attributes that we see today. And especially the last slide when you mentioned about the solutions and the call to action. So you didn't even address, not only addressing the issues that are across India, but also citing different examples in Rwanda and New Zealand and many more. So I think it was a wonderful, insightful session. Though there are some queries, there are some questions in the chat box, but unfortunately, I think the resource person, we are not able to connect. The audio is not working. So I think we'll just wrap up here for today, and we'll just head to the next session exactly at 7:30. So participants, I'll just share you the feedback link. Maybe we can just you all can just go through the feedback link, and you all can just attend that, and we'll soon we'll come back by 7:30. So thank you, sir.